Welcome back to episode 12 of the Do You Know Ball podcast. Now, I know we have a little bit of a different crew today. My usual co-host, Matthew D, is not here at the moment, but we have James from Bros No Ball to step in for him. James, how you doing?
How's it going, everybody? Super, super duper excited to be here today.
And today we got a special guest. Um, everybody's favorite Barstool sports guy, Frank the Tank Fleming. How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing better. I recently had this nasty sinus infection, and it's finally almost all clear.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So we're gonna hop straight into things with a new segment that I like to call spring training talk. Now, we're gonna go around the room here, and everybody's gonna give their player that's impressed them the most during the spring training. So for instance, I'm gonna start things off. My spring training guy is Trace Thompson. Now, he may not be the most out there guy, but he's definitely put up good numbers this year in the spring. Um, he's gotten 5 hits out of 10 at bats. Two of them are home runs, along with 6 RBIs. And he may be making a push towards either a bench spot or the DH role for the Mets for a few games in 2024. Now, I know he may not be that conventional, but he's proven himself pretty good this spring, and I'd like to see him play in a few games for the Mets coming up here. Frank, what's your Met of spring training?
Maybe you just saw him hit a moonshot, but Francisco Alvarez.
Definitely. He's an exciting kid. I think he's gonna do very good things this year. Very
Are
good
you
things.
you know what I'm impressed by?
What's up?
I look at all these players coming up, and I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to say what they might know better than they actually let on. But they're like veterans that played for 12, 13 years, and they have an interpreter.
Yeah,
Francisco Alvarez worked his ass off learning English,
he
and
definitely
I've
did.
seen him do a couple of interviews. He's done pretty damn good, and to me, that shows an incredible amount of maturity for a cat, especially for a catcher who has to communicate with the pitchers, and that's impressive to me that he put that extra effort in to do that. And he has thrown out a couple of base runners today too. He's having a really good game.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
he had his ups and downs last year, but I think Alvarez has the potential to be the best catcher the Mets have had since Piazza.
100%. I think he has a chance to have a lot of home runs this year, a lot of RBIs, and especially come clutch in big games, just like he did last year. Um,
I like the makeup of Alvarez.
yeah, for sure. James, I know that you are a crosstown rival and you're a Yankee fan. So who is your player that's impressed you the most this spring?
Well, just speaking on Alvarez really quickly, I hope you guys enjoy him and never take him for granted because boy, do I miss my young Gary Sanchez power hitting catcher. So I think Alvarez though is gonna be crazy, but my crosstown rival Yankee, my Yankee of choice is really boring. It's a boring choice, but it's got to be Juan Soto. Um, This guy, I mean, I still can't believe he's a Yankee. I'm still so excited about that. But he's putting up video game numbers. He's batting 583 with a 643 on base percentage and an OPS over 2000. I mean, I understand spring is not the regular season, but like, come on, it does not get much better than that when it comes to performances. And personally, in my personal opinion, I think he's the standout player of all of spring training. And I'm excited to watch him all this year. I think he's going to be a beast.
Yeah, enjoy him. I mean, enjoy him for this year because there's been a lot of talk about the Mets potentially going after him in the 2025 offseason. So just enjoy him while you have him.
Yeah, we'll see
And
about that.
Now
you bet.
here's a question:
Yeah.
Who is that Yankee catcher that followed that? looked like he went Mitch McConnell, Joe Biden behind home plate.
James, this is
Yeah.
you. This is you. Who's that catcher? This is all you.
For who?
Yankees.
Which one? Not Austin Wells, right? You're not talking about Austin Wells?
I think he's talking about Jose Trevino,
No,
maybe.
it wasn't.
Not Trevino?
It was the other day against the Mets.
Oh, was it the game the other day?
Yes.
Oh, it was was it Ben Roodvert where he
Hmm.
couldn't find the ball. Oh my
Oh
gosh,
yeah.
I was in public watching that game, screaming at the TV. I couldn't believe it. Uh, like I said, spring training is one thing, but that can't happen at any level of professional baseball. And he didn't even look for it. He didn't look for it at all. He was standing there while the pitcher had to go and run and grab it.
If I was a manager of a beer league team, I'd look at my bench, see if there's anyone sitting on the bench, and I'll say, get the equipment on. You're the new catcher.
Yeah, I would
I
do the
would
same
yeah.
thing.
I would put literally anybody but him out there. He didn't even make an effort to look. He just put his head down. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And that cost us that game, I'm pretty sure. Or it was one of
No,
the deciding factors.
no. The Mets won by 1 run, and the 2 runs scored on that play.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I'm shutting off the game now, and it's spring training. It's too early to be shutting off games. But
Nah,
yeah,
if that happened, the roles reversed, and then it happened to the Mets, I would have been absolutely like outraged. I would not have enjoyed that at all, especially if it was a young catcher, not like Alvarez,
Who
but like
cares for spring training? You can't have that happen.
yeah, no. No, you're an MLB player. You can't have mistakes like that happen. I would definitely like you said, I would have someone else suit up like automatically. Yeah.
yeah.
So while we're on this spring
Now,
training,
you told about Trace Thompson. I have
Trace,
a
not yeah.
history lesson for you.
What's up?
His name is Darren Reed.
Is it actually Darren Reed?
Yeah, it's a guy named Darren Reed.
Hmm. What about Darren Reed?
Darren Reed, every spring training, had monster numbers in spring training. Monster numbers. He'd be like one of the Mets' leading hitters in spring training. He'd have like 5, 6 home runs. Then he'd get called up, and he did jack squat. He ended up being like never even played like a full season. Uh, I think his lifetime batting average is like 180, and he has like maybe 5 home runs in his entire career.
Yeah, I mean
And he
that
always had monster spring trainings.
that's kind of like a Beatty last year too. I mean, he had monster numbers in not only spring training, but he put up monster numbers during AAA before he was called up, and then he was called up and nothing. Nothing pretty much. Like to bat in the 100s all year is just is
It wasn't
pathetic.
just that the errors. The errors were
The errors
mountains.
too. I was actually at a game. I was actually at the Dodgers Mets game
And I
last
was
week.
out that one too.
You were at that one too when he
Yes,
the ball hit his face, came up and hit his face.
yes.
That was probably the most sorry play of baseball history that I've seen ever. Like that and DJ Stewart was in right and he was going for a fly ball and he was in fair territory and the ball just came out and went into the stands and it was a ground rule double. I was just like what the hell am I watching? I was so angry. But that's a little league play. Like to miss a pop up at third base, that's a little league play. So it's just why it angers me so much when I see certain mistakes that the team makes. Not to say that they should make every play, but the easy ones you gotta make. You gotta make. It's there's no
That's what angered me more than even his bad hitting was how bad in the field he was.
yeah, 100%. But since we're on this Mets train, and we're gonna continue on this Mets train throughout the podcast. Um, Senga's injury is another thing I wanna touch on. Uh, right capsule
I just
strain.
knew that was going to happen. I just
Yeah,
knew it.
I had a feeling too because this is now the third year that a Mets ace has gone down before the season even started. 2023 was Verlander, 2022 was DeGrom, and now 2024 is Senga. right capsule strain, out for the foreseeable future. This is the same injury, I believe, as Corey Kluber, right? And Corey Kluber was never the same afterwards.
Like Uber, Johan Santana too.
Yeah, I mean, and then now the Mets are just such a bad spot right now because their rotation is just so weak. It's weaker than it's ever been. I mean, like the our ace is Luis Severino.
Oh,
I guess
yikes.
you would consider that. Like then Jose Quintana, Hauser. Hauser's going to give up 4 runs in like the first 2 innings of every game. It's genuinely frustrating. And then for
Ugly.
what happened?
It's going to be ugly. And don't
Yeah,
forget about Storm North.
yeah. But for Stearns to say though too, like especially after the injury, I think that was the most insulting thing for me. Um, when he was like, "Oh, we're not going to do anything about it. Like we're going to just keep the plan remains the same, and we're not gonna go out and sign any of the available free agents on the market, especially
Well,
not
Storm
gonna."
burned any bridge he had a chance of doing. Hey,
Yeah,
Met fan, sucks to be you. Maybe there's a pitcher out there, but I probably would rather stay out of the game than play for you.
yeah. There's been so many rumors the past couple days with Montgomery, but I just know it's not gonna happen. I have no faith in that.
It'd be a smart signing.
Yeah,
But
unless
The Mets never do the smart signing.
never. And I hope that it's that the price comes down and maybe some way they could get him for like a year or two, if that. But I highly doubt it. I think he's going to either Red Sox or even maybe back to Texas. I don't think he's touching the Mets with a 10-foot pole. I just don't think that's what's gonna happen. It's
I even
actually
think I even think across the board you guys missed some like easy pickups too. Because
a
even just you
hundred
need some
percent.
some plug and play guys. There like for example, even in the bullpen, Wandy Peralta, I love him as a Yankees fan. He was so good. He went to San Diego for not much at all. But even like position players, Whit Merrifield, didn't he go for like nothing? Gio Urshela,
Mm-hmm.
really solid player. He went for nothing. I feel like these are
1.5 mil.
all yeah. These are all
1.5
guys that
mil.
I feel like are easy grabs.
Justin Turner was another easy grab, didn't do it.
Martinez is still out there.
Yeah, and they're being linked to him too. But John Heyman keeps saying everything, and I don't believe anything that John Heyman says. I don't believe the damn thing. In fact, and it's frustrating because these are such easy guys, like especially JD Martinez. Sign him to a 1 year deal. What's that going to hurt you? I mean, this is a prove it year. This is just to see what works for next year. So
I don't like Mark Vientos. I think Mark Vientos is not a Major League Baseball player.
I don't think he's going to do that great either. I mean, and just Mauricio going down too. Like that's another injury that like really hurts because 100% he would have played at third base or somewhere in the infield to start the year and he would have been electric. I mean, he was really good when he came up with the
Yeah,
Mets last year.
good point.
But I think he was just put in a bad position, right? Like didn't he have to
Good
play?
point.
He had to play in the Dominican League, right? To in order to support his family and stuff because he just wasn't getting paid, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but that's a hard. You never want to see that with one of your top prospects. But yeah, just certain things like that just kind of hurts. It hurts to even look at.
If they had called him up before August, he would have had enough money. He wouldn't have had to play.
Yeah,
Think
if
about
they,
that.
but that's what they did last year. I mean, Billy Epler, they never called up free prospects in time. Like they never did called up prospects when they were actually ready, rather than waited a long amount of time and then called them up and then they sucked. Besides maybe like Alvarez. He was all right last year. He showed off a lot of his power and was
I'm sorry, I still got that little bit of a cold.
no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, no, he showed off a little bit of his power and proved to Mets fans that he's got something special in him. And but the other guys, Mark Vientos, the only thing with Mark Vientos is I do think he wasn't like I don't think he was able to play. Like they didn't put him in enough like to see what he was all about. I feel like they played Beatty more than Vientos. So I feel like Vientos should have gotten more of a an opportunity to play on the field. I don't know. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Frank?
What was that again?
With Vientos, I think he should have gotten at least a little more opportunity to play on the field rather than
No,
Brett Beatty.
yeah, no, he's a man without a position. He is a DH. It's all he can do. He is in the minors. He is very bad in the minors with the glove.
Oh yeah, he's been bad with I mean, the both of them have been really bad with the glove. Like the both of them have been really really bad with the glove. So, um, but yeah, I mean, there's certain things like that is just really really frustrating. And but the only bright spot right now, is getting Diaz back. Now, Diaz obviously got hurt last season. I can't even tell you how upset I was to see him go down, and for the stupidest reason too, celebrating after a game. Like you could celebrate, but how do you tear your right patellar tendon jumping up and down? I mean,
That to me tells me there's a ticking time bomb at least.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you don't jump up and down in a preseason game. It's just because that silly fucking World Baseball Classic.
yeah. I just don't understand it. Like we were supposed to have an easier 1-2 punch last year. We were supposed to have Robertson and we were supposed to have Diaz. And the two of them were supposed to run like loops around the league. It was supposed to be one of the best things, one of the best bullpen setups in the league, and it just never played out. Yeah,
And
it
off
just
season, he didn't get enough mileage out of starting pitching.
yeah, it just never played out. But he's healthy right now. He's back throwing 90 plus. And he says he's 100% ready to go. Which is a good sign. Are you excited at all to see him like close out games this year?
I'm just so concerned that he'll have lingering effects.
Yeah, he could most certainly have lingering effects. James, if you want to add anything,
Yeah,
you can.
barring hopefully there's not lingering effects. Even as a Yankee fan, I think it's great for the league that Edwin Diaz is back. Hearing those trumpets before he takes his little trot out, it's one of the most iconic things right now in the league, especially when it comes to sounds and stuff like that. That's what fans get hyped for. That's what people all around the country get hyped for. Um, it's just a cool thing. I think it's great for the league, and I hope he's good to go. Um, and yeah, I there might be some extra effects because I know that that can take a toll on you, and your body can only take that type of injury so many times, and to only to a certain extent. But I'm excited to see him trot back out there. Excited to hear those trumpets again. It's an
100%.
exciting part of the game.
I think he's gonna still be the best closer in baseball. He's still gonna be the best closer in baseball. I I that's you could disagree, James, if you want, but I think he's gonna still be the best closer in baseball regardless of what happened to him. I mean, the dude did what he I don't even know how many saves he had in 22, but it had to been like 30 plus and with like a 1 ERA. Like the stuff that he was doing was unheard of, and we hadn't seen that side of Diaz until that year. But he was I look, I have my love-hate relationship with him, but he really proved himself for me in 22. I feel like he was really really good. But other players that haven't been really really good to start off this spring is definitely Yamamoto. I mean, now now granted, his outing yesterday wasn't really the greatest, but it was also off of it was 6 hits, but 5 of those hits were infield hits. Um, it wasn't a great start. His ERA is up to 9, and I look, it's one thing to like it's one thing to pitch bad, but like I feel like just a lot of things didn't go his way yesterday. Um, Frank, do you at all like regret the Mets not signing him, not pushing as hard as they should have? Um,
It's been bad. It's been bad. The Mets have never made the right decision, it seems.
no. Never made a right decision. I mean, I think we had if we offered him a little more, I'm sure he would have taken the money. I mean, but and it would have been a good pair and I would have had a more comfort knowing that okay, Senga's out for a little while. We have Yamamoto at least to take a little more of the load and take a little more of the reins while Senga's hurt and not on the IL. But just didn't happen like that. I mean, everybody went to the Dodgers this year. Every single person went to the Dodgers. It's just this, James. I see you shaking your head. Good. If you want, if
Yeah.
you
Um, I mean there was a little piece of me that thought in this offseason the Yankees had a chance at him, but I think even if the Mets or the Yankees offered him a little bit more, I think we would have just been pawns on his journey to LA. Shohei went there, that's his buddy already. I think his plan was to go to LA regardless and just use the other big market teams to drive up his price. Um so I think it makes us all feel a little good to see him have a little bit of a rough start because like I don't know. Just I can't see the Dodgers win. I just can't. I can't see them buy a chip. I don't want to see that. So it does make me feel a little bit good, but after all, it is just spring training. So we have to see how he does in the regular season.
yeah, I mean, the Dodgers though have a loaded roster, like from top to bottom. It doesn't need like everywhere you look, from rotation to bullpen to lineup, it's all stacked everywhere around.
No matter what they have, they'll get bounced in the division series to the Phillies or whoever it is. They'll find a way to blow it.
What's up, Frank? Yeah, you can. What happened? I'm sorry.
Won't hope that it happens.
Yeah, yeah. Of course,
Yeah.
of course, of course. Because we all want to see the Dodgers lose because I'm just sick and tired of people going to the Dodgers. Like I saw like a random it definitely wasn't true, but I saw a random thing saying that oh Montgomery unfollowed the Texas and started following the Dodgers for some reason. They've been getting everybody. So at this point I wouldn't be shocked, but they were just doing like insane amount of signings, like especially they didn't even need to get Kike back. They just did because they wanted to. They felt like hey, why not? Let's add Kike back to the roster. And get rid of Margot, who we got with Glasnow. I mean, and then to Teoscar, and they also deferred Teoscar's contract. Like it's a 1 year contract, and they deferred it. Like I was tired of the, the deferrals. It wasn't just that; it was obviously the Otani thing. I thought that was a little bogus to see his entire contract be deferred. I don't think that's because he's getting paid like 6 mil.
It really is a joke.
It really it truly is a joke. Um, and yeah, I don't like seeing everybody go to the Dodgers. I would like to see them go to a different team. I would like to see I would have liked to see Teoscar on the Mets. I know he was linked to the Mets initially. I would have loved to see that. Maybe we would have had an actual DH for once. But instead we got DJ Stewart as our DH.
He's going to be the DJ Stewart that's been bouncing around for a whole long time. So
100%.
yeah, don't expect anything for him.
No, I'm not. I'm really not, especially not after last year and I don't it's DJ Stewart. How much can he contribute to winning?
I don't think he's going to be very good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably going to be the same old guy. And I don't think that he should be played too much. I think he should stay on the bench where he belongs. And there's only certain instances where he should come out and actually play for the team. There shouldn't be he shouldn't be starting multiple games back to back to back. Otherwise, we're gonna just lose. We're just gonna lose, and that's what's gonna happen. But I know a lot of this podcast has been like it's kind of depressing talk about the Mets, and it just keeps getting worse because Zach Wheeler just signed a contract extension, and this is a guy that I honestly thought that the Mets had a chance to get back um
Yeah, that was
in
never going to
2025.
happen.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't proved they were going to go out. You would think with David Stearns it'd be different. You would think everything would change.
Nothing will ever change.
Yeah. Nothing will ever change. But it's just crazy when you think about Zach Wheeler. He's the highest paid guy in the MLB right now. I mean, 42 million this year. He's getting paid 42 mil a season for 3 years. Um, I don't know, man. I mean, do you think the Mets like maybe missed out on an opportunity on him to re-sign him way back when before he went to
Yeah,
the Phillies?
yep. And, remember Brody Van Wagenen said that just because he had a good half doesn't mean he's ever going to be good again, fully have a good full season. And he says that with the money we saved, I was able to sign two pitchers, and that was Michael Walker and what was the other guy's name? Rick Porcello. He goes,
Hmm.
Merry Christmas, Met fans. Remember that whole fucking tweet?
Yeah, yeah, very good. Yeah, honestly, I
That's
mean,
horrible. That's
Michael Waka
horrible.
and Rick Porcello were not good for the team. They were not good for the team. I would have. There were so many things I'd rather the Mets do, and they just don't do it. Like they refuse to sign these guys that are gonna help us long term in the future. Like Wheeler turned into a great pitcher for in Philly, and I mean, good for him. He got his money. He got what he deserved. But like, or I don't even know if
I
it's.
wouldn't
I think
even
that's too hasty.
listen. He's been one of the best pitchers in the league for the past few years, but 42 million a year is a little steep. That's my take on that. I don't know. I think 42 mil is a little steep, but you know what? He likes it there in Philly. He's doing a great job over there in Philly. So yeah.
Yeah, the 42 mil is pretty steep. What, Frank, were you gonna say?
It's the going rate.
Yeah,
And the
I
Phillies
mean,
did what they had to do. Like the Phillies got their script and they know what they had to do. Their thing was keep the team together. That's what they needed to do. Keep their pitchers together, keep their squad together, and they did exactly that. And I'm sure we'll see them back in the NLCS this year because they did what they had to do. They kept Aaron Nola, they extended Zach Wheeler, and they have the same squad and added Whit Merrifield. So they're gonna be back. They're gonna be right back there because they did what they had to do. One of the very few teams I think that did exactly what they needed to do this offseason. I think that's the Phillies.
yeah, I hate the Phillies. I hate the Phillies and I hate the Braves. I can't stand either one of them. Um, and we're running the risk right now of the Mets being fourth. I don't even want to think about fifth place team. I
Mets
really,
will not come about fourth place in the next 41 years. I
yeah.
predict we'll finish last place every year from now until 2036. And then they'll go another 10 years. The Mets will lose at least 90 games a year for the next 25 years.
I really hope not. I really hope not. Like for my sake, my dad's a big fan. We watch every game. Like if I see multiple, like I don't even want to think about not even making playoffs in the
You
next
know
couple of years.
I think it's going to be Gary Keaton Ron's last year. That they're grooming Anthony Recker and Andy Martino to be the play-by-play guys, and the Beetle Dolls going to be behind them, even in the booth.
Yeah. I dude, it's just certain things with this team. It's certain things that are extremely aggravating. Um and another aggravating thing that I thought they really shouldn't do, although I do like the return they got, is I didn't think that they really needed to trade Justin Verlander last year. I feel like they should have kept him. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, should have kept him and had him for this year because he was on a 2-year contract. We only had him for like half a season.
so to be fair, he is injured.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was gonna get. So that's the only plus right now for I mean, if he doesn't, he's starting the year off on the IL, and if he doesn't pitch 140 innings, the Mets will get to keep and save $17.5 million. So, I mean, that's the only plus with that, but I feel like they should have just kept him. There was honestly like no need to trade him. At least we would have another ace to pair with Senga automatically without doing anything. Maybe it would have been different for Stearns coming in and getting other guys. I mean, Verlander would have been great to start off the year, and he was just starting to get in his groove with the Mets too. And then they traded him off, and he's with Houston again. And Houston always makes a push in the postseason every single year, and they seem to just be getting better, especially getting Hader too, and adding that Hader and Ryan Presley. That you could argue that that's the best duo in
The
the bullpen in
scariest
all
part
MLB.
about that is there are two all-star closers, which means you could be seeing one of them every single night, back to back, if they really wanted to. Now they could use Presley as a setup guy, but if they have two all-star closers, you genuinely could see a scenario where you could be seeing them back to back to back, like one night, the other night, one night, and they flip-flop back and forth, which is just insane. It's insane because what do you do against that in a 7 game series? Like what do you do against Ryan Presley and Josh Hader every night?
You lose. You
You
lose. Yeah, that's
you
literally
can't.
all you can do. It's just it's just you lose. That was probably the most shocking thing that I saw happen this offseason, other than like obviously the main guys, Otani and all them. But like I did not see Hader going to the Astros, and I was kind of taken back by Hader going to the Astros. Um, but yeah, the Astros are a really, really tough team. They always are. Um, but just getting back to Verlander, I don't think they should. I think they should have kept him. I That's another instance where I feel like the Mets like just screwed up completely. And they should have kept him for 2024 to start off the season. I think that would have been made a lot of difference for the team. But yeah, I mean we're gonna switch gears a little bit. This is gonna be our last topic that we're gonna cover tonight. Now me and James don't know too much about hockey. In fact, we don't know a lot to tell the honest truth. But Lindy Ruff, the the Devils head coach, just got fired. I'm just curious to see your thoughts on that. And is it good for the Devils moving forward, or is it a bad thing that he left? It's good.
Too late.
Great.
Should have been fired months ago. There's something wrong. The team is the softest team in the NHL. They don't hit anybody. They don't play any defense, and their goaltending is awful. And then you got a coach that just put the clamps down on the offense, and now it's become very bad. They had the top power play in the league for the first 6 weeks, and they're the worst power play leagues in the league since December 1st.
Yeah. I know a lot of Devils fans that we know were very happy that Lindy Ruff is gone. Um
He he was lucky to keep his job last year. They had a good assistant coach, and they should have let the assistant coach stay and let Lindy Ruff go.
yeah, I honestly agree, even though I don't know too much about hockey, but yeah, a lot of Devils fans that I know are extremely happy with everything. And um yeah, I feel like it's going to be a new future for the Devils. Do you know who's going to be taking over the head coaching job right now?
It's an interim coach the rest of the season, and then anything can happen this offseason.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that was
Travis Green is coaching the team the rest of the season, and I don't know, maybe if they make a surprise run, he keeps the job. If not, they're going to be doing a search.
is there any candidates you would see them
I'd
signing?
like to see them make a run at Barry Trotz.
That could be that could be definitely good. Especially, I mean, again, like I said, don't know too much, but um, yeah, I think the Devils should pursue a new coach and obviously just ride out the season with what they got for now. But
Well, after tomorrow, they have to write out the season.
yeah,
Tomorrow is the trade deadline.
do you think they're gonna make any moves?
I think Tyler Toffoli is probably going to be traded. They acquired him in the offseason. He was supposed to be a veteran offensive piece, and except now he has not gotten along well with the couple of players. He has some good goal scoring numbers, but his plus minus is atrocious. He plays no defense. He doesn't pass well, and apparently he doesn't like Jack Hughes. So
That's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's a problem. All right. Well,
whenever he's on the line with Jack Hughes has problems scoring.
yeah.
He's from the official Jack stopper.
Yep. Well, this has been great, Frank. I really appreciate you coming on. And James, thank you for joining us today too.
Of course.
But yeah, Frank, I really appreciate you coming on. You don't know how much this means to me, not only me, but my other co-host Deej and obviously James. It means a lot. So I really appreciate you coming on, taking time out of your day to join us here. But yeah. Stay tuned for episode 13 tomorrow, where we're going to talk more about the latest MLB news and get into some other sports too. Some football news happened during this week. We're going to get into that, and yeah, it should be fun. So tomorrow we're going to do episode 13, and I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Again, thank you, Frank, for coming on, and we'll see you next time.